In this video, I'm going to demonstrate how to knit Continental stranded knitting, locking the main color, which is this light yarn, while working a row of contrasting color, which is this blue yarn. So the blue yarn is the contrasting color is always the leftmost yarn on your hands. And I have the contrasting color just going over my pointer finger, and the main color going over both my pointer or index finger and my middle finger. And then tension your yarns however you normally do when you're holding your yarns, but keeping them one on either finger helps to keep them in order. I worked 2 stitches already and then slipped my little marker so I can get a little bit away from the edge of this swatch and show you how to do this. The first step is to knit a plain stitch using the contrasting color. So everything is going to be a blue stitch when it comes off the needle, the final stitches we make on this row. So that's just a plain knit stitch, and we know that every second stitch of the same color needs to be secured. So that means I need to secure that main color yarn. To do that, I'm going to go into my stitch under both yarns with my right hand needle. And then I'm going to go over the main color yarn, over the light yarn, and then under the contrasting color, the blue yarn, to grasp. So over the main color and under the contrasting. You see how they sort of flipped orders? So then I am going to go back the same direction I was before, like away from my thumb and all the way under the main color. That twists the 2 yarns around each other. See? And then I'm going to bring just that blue yarn, the contrasting yarn, through to complete the stitch. And you'll see some twists there. The next stitch that you make, which is going to be another blue yarn, another contrasting color, you go above those I call it the cross. So above the cross, above that twist, grab the yarn and pull it through. Okay. So then the yarns are back into their sort of traditional order. I'm going to lock again. So into the stitch with your right hand needle, under both yarns with your right hand needle, over the main color, under the contrasting color, and then you're going to pick up the contrasting color and bring it back under the main color. There it is. And then I want to pull just the contrasting color, just the blue yarn, through to complete the stitch, not the needle. And there's that twist or the cross again. So I want to go into the stitch, grab the contrasting color, and complete the stitch. Every other stitch that you do, you'll do a plain stitch and then one where you lock a float, and then a plain stitch and then one where you lock a float. And so now we need to lock. So I go in, move the right hand needle under both of my yarns, over the main color, under the contrasting color, swing back around and take that contrasting color all the way under the main color. So now just that blue yarn, the contrasting color is on my needle, and pull that through the stitch to complete it. That made that twist, the cross. So the next stitch, which is just a plain stitch with the contrasting color, make sure I go over the cross when I complete it. One more time to lock this, into the stitch, move the right hand needle all the way under both yarns, go over the main color and under the contrasting color, take the contrasting color back under the main color, and then pull the contrasting color through and slide it off. There's that cross again. Got to reach up over the cross for my next stitch. And then to lock into the stitch like I'm going to knit. Right hand needle under both yarns, over the main color, under the contrasting color, all the way back around. Have the contrasting color on my needle. Pull that needle through. Pull the needle through. No, pull the stitch through. There you go. There's the cross again. So you know what I need to do way up here to make sure that I engage that cross where the yarns have crossed over. Need to lock. Then I need to do a plain stitch. Lock. Plain stitch. Lock. So you're locking every second stitch of the same color. So if I'm doing an entire row of contrast color yarns, stitches, then I'm locking every other stitch. Then here's the plain one. I got to get way up here just to catch that. Lock. Go all the way around, grab the contrast color, bring it back. Tightening up my yarn a little bit. Then a plain stitch. Get rid of that cross. One more lock for you. And then a plain stitch, which sometimes that cross doesn't want to behave, does it? There it goes. And then I have one more stitch left and it's in the selvage. So I'm going to go ahead and lock it, even though the twist part may not stay by the time you go back the other way, since there's nothing at the edge. Usually you would have a couple stitches here that would be some kind of border or edge stitch like we did over here. So that is knitting, locking the main color, Continental style. So we have an entire row of contrast color. And if we look at the back of our work, it's kind of what it looks like. Super exciting. I have another video that shows you how to lock the contrasting color on the right side of the work, and a series of other videos showing you the two-handed method for locked floats for both working on the right side and wrong side of the work. Hopefully this is helpful. Thanks.